You know, when I made this pedestrian underpass, it was quite obvious that it needed to be done. Either that or go over, and I'm not a big fan of going over. When I saw these pedestrians playing chicken with this intersection out here, oh, I was thinking, oh, here we go. And why? Because there's two big blocks, and there's no other way between them other than this road. You have to walk down the road, walk along the road, get to this intersection and cross over. Well, if there was a couple of them doing it, I knew a whole bunch more wanted to. So that's pretty much the reason why I put this here. This tunnel, little tunnel, whatever it was. Whatever you want to call it. I wanted a practical reason to put the tunnel here. And I know it doesn't really sound all that practical to put this big structure just for a pedestrian pathway. But when it comes to building overhead pedestrian pathways, I consider that I suck at it. I don't, very rarely do I do something that I like. So I thought, well, since I did that video on tunnel vision, bring it here and see if I can make something of it here. I'd like to think it turned out pretty good. You can see through the tunnel. It's a nice straight road. You've got a path on one side, you got a path on the other side. Up at top, they're connected to each other. You can see the life going on in this tunnel. All these years, right? I mean, all these years I've had network extensions, and I knew that they had rendered tunnels, so that when you go into a mountain or go under the under the road, it'd be lit. You could, get onto a vehicle. If you got a vehicle that allowed, if you got a mod that allowed you to be on a vehicle and drive through and see what they see, and then say, yeah, it's great. But I never put one and one together and realized that if I shortened the tunnel, I could actually see through it. And then when it happened, I had to show you guys. All these years, nobody ever stumbled across that. And if they did, they never made a video. Probably because it's a boring topic. I don't think it is. I think this adds a lot. It opens the imagination. Right? Because I don't think I would have done this kind of, bridge thing. Where do you work? Oh, okay. I'm trying to get them not to use the intersection because I'm kind of feeling that there's a special pedestrian light that fires and it kind of confuses everybody. Well, I mean at a multi-state traffic light. There are sometimes you get them where there's a pedestrian-only light. And I think those lights mess up the schedule or the pattern of green lights going around the intersection. And it promotes despawning. So hopefully I've got it to the point where the pedestrians will either go in this underpass or on this tunnel overpass. And very few of them will actually have a need to use the intersection. But, there's always going to be people using that intersection. Proximity is proximity, right? I am trying my best not to do the same old, same old. That's why I did the underpass and the overpass. Well, the overpass was, I wanted, like I said before, I wanted to check out if I could actually build them, make them look good, and make them look like they belong to the area that I put them in. Digging them into the ground didn't work here, but piling up some soil and then cutting into the soil, or digging into the soil and out, that worked. That worked well. Here we're just doing a flyby. You can see that pedestrian pathway which is elevated and seats back down. That's so they can get across the road and not disturb the people at that intersection too. Yeah, no, I do a lot of work trying to get them out of the intersections. It looks busier when they do that. Oh my gosh, here. I put this pathway here in between some commercial and didn't realize how much traffic it was starting to collect. Right? They're all seeking out that pathway. Well, between the two blocks, you've got commercial on one side, you've got commercial on the other side. residential on both sides. Here, let me show you the traffic, the amount of pedestrians that are going to or want to access this piece. Every green line has got pedestrian on it. Every little arrow you see is a pedestrian. So when we click out over to like here, this is the small park, vanilla small park. Look at all the arrows. That's how many people are accessing this parkway or this park. Very few of them are actually park goers, but most of them are traveling through the park to get somewhere else, whether it be the train station, the commercial, residential, or the other block. No, it's, yeah. Just seeing those few little pedestrians along that road meant for me that there was a whole mess of them that wanted to use this. As you can see, check this out. See him leave? See that person leave too? They're leaving from the back of the asset because the asset is actually attached to that road down there. I've done videos on this before, where if you have a hangout marker and it's close enough to a pathway, they will see it as the quickest route. And instead of going out the way they came or down to where you expect them to enter and exit the park, which is by the road, they'll do it elsewhere, right near the hangout markers. Me, I want to exploit this just a little bit more. I want to see if I can make it easier for them to leave. I also want to see if I can get them to join this park from this path. You know what I mean? Well, we know they leave, and they really enjoyed that. But what I'm looking for is traffic in the other direction too. Like that. Like that. One person's going to sit on the fountain, the other person's going to hang out the hangout marker. A little more variety in somewhat a bland park, because this park is just a piece of greenery with a T-shaped pathway going through it. And it's connected way down there at that road. And now they come in here, they'll join this park back here, and they leave through back here. Which I think that is absolutely fantastic. More variety. As a matter of fact, they like the idea so much, or the pedestrian pathway here cuts off time for them, so much time, that they leave this hangout marker, come through, or come down this pathway, go back down through that little park to join the other hangout marker. Oh, for a second I thought that was the person that we were going to follow. We're going to follow somebody on a bike, I believe. Patience. You know, it's funny that they'll leave through here instead of walking across the grass like those people did, right? That this is quicker for them than doing that, walking across the grass. Do it on a bike. Actually, he drives, grabs the pathway that goes through the park again, and then leaves the park. But there's somebody else, the next vehicle, or the next person to come out of this park, out of this hangout marker, as a matter of fact. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, they're leaving. You can see them out there. At least I think that's them. Here he is. Gets on a bike, pedals his way around the corner, comes back into the park, goes past the crossway, gets down to there, tosses his bike, and then walks in and joins the rest of the people. I think that kind of behavior, that kind of dynamic is fun. It just adds to the simulation, right? It's just one of those things that they're not supposed to do. But if you set it up right, they'll certainly do it, for sure. Just like traffic, like highways. You'd be surprised how traffic actually uses a highway when they're allowed to use it right. But yeah, no. Let's just kind of stick to this for a while. I kind of hang out here for a bit, thinking that this person is going to change their mind again and go somewhere else. But yeah, no, I think we're just gonna give up on that one. Wow, that's tall, eh? Kind of fitting there, as a matter of fact, as far as in my opinion. So let me show you what she looks like now. A little bit of a garden wall there. I did some little fine tuning of the tunnel. But that straight static pathway that was on the left hand side, put a little bit of a curl on it, or curve on it, or S-bend, I guess I probably be better called. Threw a couple of rocks in there, detailed it just a bit, just to make it look more homey. Add some flowers and rocks over here too. Big old oak tree. I really enjoyed this project so far. Can't imagine where I'm going to take this next. It's going to be in small chunks, that's for sure. Because it is a renovation. I need to go further up this street. Because there's that S-bend that goes into the other intersection there. That weird, curved one. Yeah, I want to put something special in there to kind of accent that off. You know what I mean? Give more of a reason for why I curved the road rather than just give smooth access to the traffic coming in and out. It's truly astonishing how trees and plants will set a scenery off. And I love that tunnel. I really do. Wish I knew what I could do a little on top of that tunnel, because I'm not a big fan of anarchy tools, even though I do use one through the No Pillars mod. But that's pretty much the only time I use it. But you can't use anarchy here, because if I did that, then the pathway and the tunnel would merge into one level. So I really don't know what I'm going to do other than maybe make that out of two pieces, because there's only one node in there now. Put maybe two nodes, and maybe the section in between I can actually put some trees or foliage or something, because that kind of looks bare, don't you think? That elevated pathway looks good. The tunnel, I just can't say enough about that tunnel, really. Yeah, it's the little things, eh? Some more flowers. You see how I've got pathways running alongside the road, but not on the road? Try to distract them from using the road sidewalk. Because the more I can keep them off the sidewalk, the better off I am, the happier I am. Does it look like a place that would be worthy visiting? I know, it all depends on the shops on either side. But essentially, this was just to test out if I could use the tunnel, the see-through tunnel, the tunnel vision video, if I can make better use of that idea. And this is my first instance of it. I'm really going to try my best not to become a one-trick pony with it too. There's got to be other ways to use that. I like mixing the park in there. Or trying to hide the park in there. I mean, people who play the game knows what piece that is. And just to think, it all started with the train station. Sorry, metro station. Till next time, folks. Hope this was enjoyable. Have fun. Ciao for now.